All right, so they say memes or words worth pictures worth 1,000 words, which is true. So I hear this is a meme of an argument that the system is what causes people blah blah blah, like as if you don't have any choice. In a sense, yes, we don't have a choice. Well, no, there is always a choice. We can always run back to nature, but then nature is going to be the system that requires obedience on pain and homelessness and starvation. Yes, if you're on an island where there's no cops, no system or whatever, you're still under the so-called quote-unquote oppression of nature. Okay? You are still going to have to get up to acquire your food, establish your shelter, because if you don't, you're going to have the pain of being stuck in the rain, right, or the cold, depending on, well, even in tropical areas, there will be some times when it gets cold, okay, and starvation. So whether it's the monetary system that requires obedience on pain, or the nature, or the natural order of things, or nature systems that requires obedience on pain and homelessness and starvation, what's the difference, people? Okay. All right, so now let's look at the comments, and then we'll look at my comment here. Okay, the issue is most people are too lazy to unionize, and then union leaders get corrupt as well, and that's a whole other story. Again, I've been studying unions. I like them, but until you can really solve the problem of the leaders not being corrupted, and let alone, yes, even the people who join unions are fucking lazy. Okay, they're lazy because the maintenance work that it takes to maintain the union, they begrudgingly do it. Okay, they begrudgingly do it. They're not like happy to do it. Maybe like 1% or 2% of people are happy to do it because they've had such a horrible opposite experience, and now the benefits the benefits they're getting from the union is good, but who knows how long that lives as well? Because like I said, in time it just falls apart. But anyways. But since there are more wage slaves than corporate masters, it's the fault of the wage slaves because they fight amongst themselves, unlike the corporate masters who apply the universal law of unity. Okay? So until you wage slaves stop wasting your time and money, having kids you can't afford, and coming home or going to bars and killing your brain cells and watching mind-numbing TV, none of this shit, and I have to pay ish, because I know that there's words that trigger YouTube's thing, because in the background when I upload it, it says, do you want to hold potentially comments and blah blah blah. You can hold all comments from being posted publicly. But anyways, so that's why sometimes I spell words differently or use these I guess modern, I don't know, slang and shit like that. It's going to change. None of this shit is going to change. All right. So what else did I want to say about this? So yeah, so I know some of you, the people who I call retards, sheeple, NPC, sleepwalkers, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, those of you who disagree and are gonna project a perspective like you're victim shaming, blah blah blah. Yes, no, two wrongs do not make a right. Yes, it is not okay for these corporations. The way corporations break bread is obviously toxic, right? To use these stupid little buzzwords that people use, all right? The way corporations break bread is toxic, okay? I repeat one more time. The way corporations break bread is toxic, for sure. That is one of the fundamental problems. But the other side of the equation is how people who get these crumbs of bread, how they spend it, all right? And that's why I put in there, stop wasting your money having kids you can't afford, right? Whether it's white trash, black ghetto, Latino barrio, fucking East Indian slums, let's say, well, I don't know if the Irish have a word for, because overall the Irish are basically they're the original black people of basically Europe, and Polish can also be seen as kind of like of Eastern Europe, okay? Also seen kind of the lower educated, okay, because it's all about education at the end of the day. So I'm saying, what is the common ground with all these people, right? The white trash, the black ghetto, the Latino barrio, the the East Indian slums. Obviously, well, I guess I don't know if we have the slums or whatever poverty stricken parts of Africa, right? Yeah, what do they have in common? Is the lack of intelligence, and intelligence that overspills into how they actually manage their household. Okay. What else was I gonna say? All that. Fuck, I forgot. I just had a big brain fart. But, anyways, I think you guys get the gist. Okay, it takes two to tango. Yes, the corporations and their corrupt lobbying and all this other crap that make basically things that are, in a sense, immoral, legal, right? Just so I tell people, look, slavery was legal. That doesn't mean it was morally right, but also we got to be very careful about what we define as moral, because that has changed throughout the millennia, right? Because in that time, when slavery was right, people probably also thought it was morally right. It is our moral right to treat these things as not people because XYZ, right? Obviously, fast forward 2023, most people disagree with that. Obviously, there's still a couple of people that, still feel the way that people felt back then. But who are they usually? Usually, again, the common denominator is someone of low intelligence. So you look at the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazi or neo-Nazis of America, whatever. What is their usual financial stance? Most of them are broke, right? And then, yes, you have rich people that talk bad, right, or in a sense racist, but because they see of how what's it called? These people who are born in America have the opportunity. Yes, maybe not as obviously as other people do, but when you have Africans who don't like African Americans who come here and kill it, right? Because they have a work ethic, because it's all relative, people. Where they come from is definitely worse than the ghettos of America. Okay? Definitely way worse. And yet here they come and they crush it. Okay? They multiple people live in the same house. They save money, right? They're very frugal, right? And obviously some of them open businesses or whatever. But I'm saying, per capita, the Africans that come here outperform the African Americans because of the cultural differences. Okay, so there's no excuse for someone that was born here in the ghetto, or even like, let's say, average income family, to somehow, basically make a better life for themselves. All right, but let's see what some of these excuses. I haven't read none of these, so this is just fresh off the dome. All right, been homeless off and on since 2009. Disabled at work in 2006. Thank God I'm handy with old cars, or I'll be on the sidewalks. Okay, exactly. He has something to give, right? Our entire system is set up to punish the poor for not working hard enough, which is a joke. I was doomed to fail no matter how hard I spun my wheels over and over. Unions are our only hope. Okay, so to punish the poor. Well, yes. Every system has a reward and punishment. Like I said, in nature, if you don't plant seeds, if you don't go out hunting, if you don't put work, you're gonna starve and be homeless as well. Okay, so it's oh my God, I don't know how else to explain it to you. Okay, compare and contrast. What's the difference? You have to put in work. Okay, yes, the difference here is that the work you put in is not necessarily appreciated. Why isn't it appreciated? Because you, the masses, that's what I said earlier, you are not applying the law of unity. You rather have fights about your religious differences, your cultural differences, your dress differences, your music style differences, your sport team differences. Oh, I can't hang out with him because he likes the fucking Sox and I like the Cubs. How fucking retarded can you be? All right. Oh, I just want to go home and go fishing. And the other person, I just want to go home and play games. Yeah, instead of sitting down talking about, hey, we are the blood, we are the, well, not the bloodline, but let's say we have the potential for strength in numbers because we're the ones. What do they call it? See, this is where communism, right? Marx's Communist Manifesto is partly correct, right? To owning the means of production, right? Okay, let me give you an example. If all the workers, right, the majority of the workers decided to go on strike, which obviously some of them do, but they eventually, a lot of them break, right? They break, or they go find another job, right? But most of them break, right? I mean, meaning that they'll get some, there'll be some negotiation, but then it will basically, it'll be breadcrumbs, but because they're so tired of having to basically, yes, again, put in the work to strike, their bills are piling up, there's no one there to help them, right? They're being stressed by their husband or wife or whatever, right? Yeah, that they eventually they cave in, right? That's the picture of the threat, right? The threat of like not having a job and being homeless. Therefore, they cave in and back to square root one, and then they're going to be pissed off again because they never really solved the problems. God, I can't believe I had a brain fart on that too. What was I going to say? Shit. Oh yeah, so obviously that's the power of unionize, right? Where you can go on strike or whatever. If the point is, if all the workers leave, the owner would be fucked, right? The company existence cannot exist without the majority of the labor force because that's who creates the value. Okay? Sure, the owner what might have been the original one who, you know, started from the ground, right? He probably was in the trenches like the workers that he is now, was able to somehow raise capital, whatever, or the business was so profitable to generate enough money to buy other workers to delegate the you know the work and obviously increase productions and maybe buy machines and blah blah blah, right? It all depends on the business, right? And now after many years, yes, he can enjoy the benefits or the spoils of his work, right? But where it gets again crappy, like I said earlier, it's about how corporations or companies, right, small, large, whatever, break bread, and that's the problem. And the other problem I see is that if there was a truly, I would say, not greedy owner, giving owner, the next problem would be that if he gave all you guys a raises, right? Because most of you lack financial discipline and literacy, you guys would be back to square one. He would raise your rate, he would raise your pay, and you would have kids again, more kids probably than you could afford, right? Basically, you would expand or increase the cost of your lifestyle and your life, that you'll be back to square one and you'll be pissed off again. I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough. Well, depending on what industry the business that you work for is in, right, it will go up and down, and some of them are not as profitable as others, all right? Because that's another hidden secret that is hidden, is the real true profit margins of a business, because we have no financial transparency. And a lot of you poor people would also fight for this, fight for financial transparency. I don't want anybody to know what I make. This is a secret. Okay, retard. Then continue being happy or unhappy, being played like a fiddle. Okay, so since the wage slaves outnumber the I guess the masters of this universe, right, of this planet, of this economic system, you have more at fault because there's more of you. You have more. You truly have the power in numbers. You are just disorganized. You're not in a You're not unionized, as this thing's trying to say. More perfect union. And I solved the solution of capitalism. But what I see is that the poor people will not be willing to rock the boat even temporarily. Right? They're not willing to go under discomfort for however long we have to go in order to finally correct the whole system. Okay, you do not want to rock the boat to be uncomfortable. So okay, so therefore suffer. Okay, so I'm gonna carve out my own niche, and for those people who are smart enough to join my basically my union, my gang, my tribe, whatever you want to call it, my business. All right, they're gonna thrive. But the rest of you, right? And of course, there is work to be put in there. I'm gonna treat you like family, but you gotta act like family. All right. And most of you are toxic and you don't even know it, okay? I know everyone worked hard this year, so I got you all something to show my appreciation. Oh boy, higher wages. Pay paternity leave, medical, nope. I spent $100 million designing this phone booth for you all to break down and have an existential crisis, even during your break, of course. So who wants to take it to our test pen? Where you get that? Guillotine. Nobody wants to work anymore. Yeah, when the cost of being a worker, the medical bills, exactly. But again, all of this is a byproduct of all of you, the majority of you, sorry, not all of you, but the majority of you, okay, I would say at least 80, 90% of you wanting to be distracted. Look at the videos on YouTube for music videos, girls shaking their ass, whatever, in any kind, any kind of format, right? Even them just sitting in a gamer's chair, right? And they're not even dressed like super provocative, right? The guys are still attracted by I guess the humble, innocent girl next door look, right? But you're still wasting your time, right? Watching dumb people, right? Watching your basketball game, your football games, all this dumb shit that will not get you out of financial slavery. And yet you want to blame the system. Okay? Oh, shit. I can't believe I'm tired. I got to get breakfast up here. So that's what I meant. Sorry. No, I got it. So the fact that these videos of, I don't know, how to get rich, how to manage your finances, all this other shit has relatively low views compared to the millions and billions of views that music videos get, all these basically entertainment. In YouTube, basically there's two classifications. There's entertainment and there's education. And entertainment definitely takes more of the eyeballs than the education. And that's the point. A lot of you do not want to educate yourselves at all. So even the owner of the company that wants to help you, right, is like, okay, here, but you got to help yourselves. I can only lead you to water. I can't make you drink it. And that's why in my companies, I'm going to set up a system where, okay, I can pay you the market rate, or I can pay you more. But before I pay you more, I need you to learn all these financial literacy, right? I need you to become financially literate, right? And more importantly, I need you to open up your books to me, right? So that I can see you're actually applying what I taught you, right? And of course, every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever, we're going to look at your books again, and we're going to see if you are administering financial discipline, right? Right? We're going to see if you're going to have a kid, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, oh my God, that's invasion of privacy. That's so, okay, fine. Again, it's your choice. Fine. Here. You don't want that so-called invasion of privacy and all this shit. Okay, then here you go. Here's the market rate. And if you can find somebody else to pay you more, fine, great. But if you have to crawl back with your fucking tails, your tail between your legs, that's on you. Okay, and we're probably not going to give you a raise. Okay, so we have to use fear to incentivize you to make the right fucking decision. Why do you think there's laws that sometimes have severe punishment? Is to make you make the fucking right decision sometimes. Sometimes a good parent has to be a good disciplinary parent, right? Because if there's no consequences to your actions, what the fuck are you going to do? What are you going to do? Of course you're going to be fucking doing the wrong thing because there's no consequences. Oh my God. Perfect, whatever. Yep, you'll be cold to every person ordering, blah, blah, blah. Okay, excuses. Again, I'm not taking a side. I'm calling on both sides, like I just did. The corporations, yes, they break bread horribly. But on the other side, y'all don't know how to spend your bread. Period. Let those who have eyes to see, and ears to hear.